Hi, and welcome to our Atomic-Moto overview of the Sidi motocross boot line. Now, I have 4 different models here from the famous Italian brand, and I'll give you the breakdown, not just the manufacturer's bullet points, but I'll give you the breakdown about how they're going to work on and off the motorcycle in our usual no BS style. Are you ready to start? I'll start with this model, which is called the Extreme X-Treme. This is the newest model in Sidi's line, and it is definitely aimed at having a more aggressive price point. But they didn't cut corners. They didn't make a cheap boot that doesn't perform well on the bike. In fact, this has a lot of the typical Sidi qualities, such as the excellent buckles, the excellent sole, and of course the excellent assembly. The Extreme is very light. It is the lightest model in this group by far. It is 3.66 pounds for the size 9, probably going to be about 3.8 for a size 10. Those are all 44s. It's got a very slim profile. That's a good thing. That makes it the most friendly for when you're walking off the motorcycle. It's quite light and quite easy to manage. The sole is another important story on the Extreme. It is stitched on. It's a welt sole construction, and contrary to conventional wisdom, contrary to popular belief, not all Sidi models fit narrow. They have a reputation for fitting narrow, and frankly, their welt sole versions do not. One of them, in fact, the Crossfire 2TA, is quite wide. This one is normal to slightly wide. And again, it retails for $375 as of the filming of the video. The next model up is the Crossfire, or Crossfire 1. Now, this model existed a few years ago. They discontinued it to bring out the Crossfire 2s, which I have over here, but after a short period of time, they decided to bring it back. It has a fairly aggressive price point also. This is $450. It's got a lot of value. This boot has a lot of technical features and has great value. It's got the same Sidi detachable and adjustable upper calf plates. It has the same Sidi excellent buckles. It's a dual pivot mechanical hinge. This is a single pivot, this is a dual pivot. The 2 pivots, one slightly below and one above the ankle, give it a smoother movement, smoother flex. It's also a welt sole and has a decent amount of width to it. It's not the widest welt sole that Sidi has, but it actually is still fairly wide. It's wider slightly than the Extreme. This particular boot is 4.4 pounds for this size 44, and it just screams quality. When you hold it in your hands, it's hard to get this across on camera, but when you look at the finishing, the plastic, the smell of the boots, Italian boots smell fantastic, by the way. When you look at the finishing and fit of this particular model, it just screams quality. And again, this retails for $450 as of the filming of this video. The next model up is the Sidi Crossfire 2TA. And excluding the price, you know, everybody's budget is different. This is our favorite model in this grouping. Bombers are unique in this way. Crossfire 2TA has an improved dual pivot hinge compared to the Crossfire 1. The position of it was adjusted slightly to give it a little bit more smooth action. It is a welt sole, and this boot is actually quite wide. Again, contrary to popular belief, contrary to conventional wisdom, this model has a lot of width in it. The toe box is low, and I'll try to show you why. There is a noticeable depression right there on the top of the piece that goes over the plastic. The toe box is low, so it's not very voluminous, which is in some ways that allows a person who has a wider foot to fit into a narrow boot. It's not very tall, but it is quite wide. This is I have a wide foot and I wear this particular model. It works very well. It is also a stitched on sole, a bonded sole. This model and the other 2 can be replaced, but you have to take it to a cobbler to do it. It's got Sidi's excellent set and forget buckles. They've got a lot of leverage, and they have a really solid positive clamp to them. The finishing of it is outstanding. The boot screams quality. What is nice about the Crossfire 2, both of the 2 Crossfire 2 models that I have here, is it has this outstanding network of memory foam padding inside, and it just has, and again, this is an intangible thing, it just has this incredibly comfortable feel when you put it on. Despite the fact that this boot weighs 4.42 pounds for the size 10 here and has lots and lots of plastic, when you put it on, it feels very secure, very, very protective, very, very snug, and also very, very comfortable. I can't emphasize that boot enough, that fact enough. When you talk to people and they praise Sidi boots, that's really why. This model is a Crossfire 2 SRS, and this is the big kahuna in Sidi's line. It retails for $575 as of the filming of this video. And it is the same boot essentially as the Crossfire 2 TA. By the way, the TA is $525, the SRS is $575. It is the same boot from the from the sole up. You can see that, but there is a different method of attaching the sole on the SRS. The sole is actually a plastic base and then a removable rubber piece on the bottom that you can change yourself with a screwdriver. When you need to replace the sole on this particular model, you can do it yourself. You don't have to take it to a cobbler. And in fact, there are two options for the sole. There is also a lugged enduro version that many people enjoy. This model is a little bit heavier than the Crossfire 2 TA. This is 4.52 pounds, so about 1/10 of a pound heavier and a little bit more money. The fit of it is also different. This model is the classic Sidi fit, very slightly narrow. Still a decent amount of people can wear it, but if width is really a concern, the 2 TA is definitely wider than the SRS. However, this is their absolute most technical model. So that is the sort of individual breakdown of the four of them. What are the key differences? Well, I would say that the Extreme is great for people that want a really lightweight motocross boot. The TA, the 1 TA, is the boot in the Sidi line that has the best value. It has many of the features of the 2, but it's kind of in the middle, and so they're a little bit more aggressive on the pricing of it. So it's got outstanding value. If you want the Cadillac, or I should probably say the Lancia or the Mercedes in the Sidi line, it's got to be one of the 2 variations of the Crossfire 2, either the TA, which is our favorite incidentally, or the SRS, which is Sidi's most popular model. These are where they pull out all of the stops. In fact, let me emphasize that. When you look at the boot, the engineering and complexity of the design of this boot is very striking. It's not a simple piece. There's a lot going on with these models, and that's why they're worth their money. But with all of the plastic all around the boot and the mechanical hinge, they yield a very nice, very smooth, very easy flex, and they just feel great. So that's the Sidi motocross boot line. 4 models, different price points, different strengths and weaknesses for each one. We hope that that's been helpful. We are Atomic-Moto, www.atomic-moto.com. We hope to see you out on the bike.